Check this out. On my last video, I talked about how I think that I have the dreamer's disease. The dreamer's disease is basically when, in my perspective, when you used to do something, when you used to do something creative, and you get caught up in the 9 to 5, being responsible, and you forget that you used to make music, or you used to paint, or you used to sing, whatever it is, right? Like you had to give up the thing that you really love just for the sake of being responsible. Okay, you grew up, you have to get a job, or you have to go to school for a different career that maybe you didn't want to do because the thing that you really wanted to do maybe don't have a lot of money in that industry. We're just gonna break it down deeper just to give it a bit more perspective and to figure out how to move away from that. I don't know if you watched my last video. I talked about how I plan to go around that. We're just gonna go a little bit deeper today. So you're probably wondering, what is dreamer's disease? Dreamer's disease is when you can't shake the dream, when you haven't figured out, how to actually shape your real life around your art or the things that you really want to do in life. In my perspective, right, I got married young, joined the military a couple years after. I just had to grow up fast. So the things that I used to do a lot, like photography, music, after a while, you get so busy, you get so caught up in the 9 to 5, you go away from those things because you get so busy. And every now and then, right, you probably hear a song, or you probably watch a movie, you probably out somewhere, and it just remind you of the life you really want to live, of the life you strive for, or just simply doing the things that you really want to do. Just not having enough time, just working every day. When the weekend comes around, you're tired, you don't want to do anything more than just maybe chill out, maybe go hang out just for a little bit. The creativity part, or the things that you really want to do, the things that when you were young you really wanted to strive for, didn't want to do that thing anymore. So it's the responsible route versus the creative route. You will have to make a living. For me, I'm in the military. You might be in the corporate world, or you might be in the military too, or whatever, wherever you work, right? You have to make a living, but at the same time, you want to be creative, right? But it can even be somebody that went to a different career field that they initially didn't want to go into. For example, right, if you go to school for music, that's fun, but having a job in the real world doing music, if you want to go corporate or whatever, if you want to work for a company or whatever, that's slim to none. It's really hard to get into that field unless you want to do your own thing, right? A lot of time, doing your own thing don't pan out, so you have to get a job, right? So you might be, for example, you might be at Walmart and you wanted to be a singer, and you probably went to school for that, and at some point Walmart is probably draining you out, right? Day to day, 9 to 5, or overnight shifts or whatever, right? At some point you get so tired you don't want to sing anymore, you don't want to be creative anymore, right? You let it go at some point. But in my perspective, it happened to me. You just find yourself wanting to do it again, right? Again, I make music, I make beats. Been doing it for a while, then I stopped a little bit after I got married. Then I joined the military, so I stopped completely for literally almost 2 years now. I'm just now getting back to it because it's just what we do, right, as creative. It doesn't matter how long you go without doing the thing that you love. At some point, you want to get back to it. For me, I was listening to a song, and it gave me this idea just to create this video, to bring it to perspective, right? When we were young, we wanted to do things, right? Cool things that were probably crazy, probably didn't make any sense. Then you grow a little older. The older you get, you grow, you realize this doesn't make any sense, or you find yourself losing that curiosity or losing that drive to want to be something that maybe only one person of the world is doing. Or it could be just living off of music, living off of your art, or it could be just being a creative or whatever. Not a lot of people get to live their dream. A lot of us have to get a regular 9 to 5, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that being young, when you're thinking about being creative, you only think about doing the creative work at a high level instead of Just switching your perspective and doing that creative thing regardless. And that's where I'm at, right? I'm in the place where it doesn't matter if I make it or not, quote unquote make it or not. I'm gonna be creative regardless, right? I'm gonna make beats, I'm gonna sing all those beats, I'm gonna take photos and edit those photos, or just get in the loop of being creative again and see just where it takes me. And not thinking about, oh damn, I gotta make it, or I have to earn a living with my creativity or whatever. I think it's okay to work a regular life and still be creative, right? Still paint, still sing, still write poems, right? Still make music. Or if you're in a space where you wanna do better in life, or you want a better job, you probably, let's just say you don't like the job you're in, it's okay to pivot. It's okay to take a little time after work and just do research and go take a class, just to move away from wherever you are that you don't like. Instead of just making peace with, oh, okay, you know what, I'm never gonna be this thing, or I'm never gonna be able to do that thing. Again, dreamer's disease is when you can't shake off the dream, the passion, the ideas, the business ideas, or the creative ideas, or whatever, right? And when you can't shake that off, right? It doesn't matter how busy you get, it doesn't matter how much money you probably get being in the corporate world, it doesn't matter how, deep you get. You probably find yourself at the mall and you see the kids, the youngins, you're like, damn, that used to be me. I used to be full of life like this. I used to be fresh like this, you know what I mean? I used to have all those ideas and just free of life. Now I'm just playing it safe. And it's okay, being safe is good, but on the flip side, I think it's good to just still do your thing on the side, still create, or still do the thing that you always wanted to do. After a while, the days became a blur, right? Next thing you know, you're 40 years old and you never wrote that book, you know what I mean? Or you never made that beat, or you never started singing, you never started singing, or you never started dancing, or whatever it is. The desire is always gonna find itself creeping back in. A lot of people press it back down and they doing all this stuff and they ignore it, but it's always gonna come back. For me personally, I'm gonna stop ignoring it. And I'm only 28 years old. I'm young. I'm glad that I think I caught it early. I think I realized that, damn, I'm in this loop and I'm only 20 years old. I find myself acting like I'm a 40-year-old or I'm a 50 or whatever, right? Playing it safe. I'm only 28 years old, so I'm glad I caught it early. I'm glad that I have this mindset now. Moving forward, I'm gonna challenge myself. I'll be investing in my studio. I'll be investing in this room here, and I'll be investing just to do the things that I always wanted to do, right? As I'm in the Army, as I'm in school, I'll be making beats, I'll be making music. I'll be going outside to take photos and videos, just enjoying life, not just being in the loop, not just playing it safe. Again, dreamer's disease, right? The things that you always wanted to do, you can't do them. Maybe you can't do them right now, but at some point. And maybe you're in a season where you need the structure, you need to be organized, right? You need a stable, steady paycheck. Maybe you need to pay down debt. Maybe you need to get disciplined in a corporate environment. Like me, I'm in the Army. I think I've always been disciplined to some extent, but I feel like the Army brought me to another level, right? And having a stable paycheck offers me to take some risk, spend some money on some things that I'm probably not gonna recoup. But it brings life, bro. You know what I'm saying? It brings life. It's fun. I just felt like personally me, that's the gift God gave me, the gift to make music. My name is Balado. My name is really Henry Lowerston, but Balado sounds cooler. I'm Balado on all streaming platforms. I make music, I sing. I'm in this journey just to be consistent, to put out music, to first create music and then put out music, right? Just to be creative overall, right? Just come into this journey with me. If you sing, or if you rap, if whatever it is that you do it, you know what I'm saying? Just do it. You only live once, you only have one life. Just take advantage of every day and do the things that you really want to do.